Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you on Friday, November the 3rd. The year is 2023. Let's talk trading. Weekly wrap-up. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine. Friendly reminder, as we go into the weekend, maybe you'll remember it if you think about it now. When you're trading, do not lose any more than you're willing to lose on any single trade. Okay, weekly wrap up. Let's take a look at the weekly. We've had one heck of a week. Only one pair did not fill the gap, the Aussie yen. But as far as the pound dollar, we have broken across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, the last 5 weeks highs. It's incredible. Close above the open by 255 pips right now. That's the weekly open. We're 13 pips off the high and 287 off the low. Zooming out to the monthly, you can see here for this month we almost have 300 pips in range, about 293, 294, 232 pips over the monthly open. And we are above the previous month's high. So we broke out of that upper wick zone. And looking at the daily, you can see we are above the opening range for the week, for the month, and for the year. And we are now 289 pips above the yearly open. So this month, once again, it's only been a couple of days here, trading days, but wow. Actually 3 trading days. Today's the 3rd, but it has definitely made a move. Well, we've had a lot of red news this week. And as you can see here, we broke out of that inside bar yesterday. If anybody would have held that, you'd be up over 200 pips. So for the day, we're 179 pips above the daily open, 11 off the high, 194 off of the low. And notice we have the pound actually leading in range. It's more than the pound New Zealand and more than the pound yen. That's a day to remember. And as you can see here, it just broke out of that buy zone and took off. In fact, I was talking to an old trading buddy today, so shout out to Chip. He was asking me, goes, you still doing the buy zone? I said, yeah, and the rat zone and a whole bunch of others, the wick zone. But he hasn't been watching the channel, so Chip, if you're watching this, you need to watch the channel every day. Red rats. I know you're licking your chops, but we don't have too much time left. But who knows, maybe you'll get a huge gap down if you want to hold over the weekend. But that is just really huge, this move up. And of course right here, that is a return bar. So we'll just have to wait and see if it holds true. And we are at the weekly R2. We went through R4 on the daily, and R5 isn't even plotted. I mean, this is just crazy. Bambino Flex Indicators said to go long. Price near the pivot, go long. We never got close to S1. So once again, following a simple little algorithm can pay off. Does it win every day? No, but that's why we have our stop losses. But overall, today, this could have made your month. And so we've taken out the monthly pivot, we've taken out the weekly pivot, we took out the daily pivot, but not yesterday's, so we've got a missed pivot so far this month. And as far as H4, you can see we've left 1, 2, 3, 4 missed pivots behind. So that'll be something to look and see, because remember the other day I was targeting this and this one here at 22.65. A couple of missed pivots. At least I think I was targeting that one. I know that 22.66 number came up. But as you can see, we've taken them out. Wick zone trade, the daily. Upper wick zone, price broke through and never looked back. That news came out NFP day. I guess I should have put that on the heading that it is NFP day. And if we want to take a look at the smart range, this week 290, or this month 294, almost as much as last month, and we've only been 3 trading days in. So this could be a really explosive month. We'll switch to the weekly. 300 pips, 91 percentile, well above last week. High minus previous high, 101. Once again, taking these breakouts, horizontal lines with the candle color. It's hard to miss sometimes. We did not break out at a previous low, so we've got a higher high, higher low, high minus the close. It's only 12 pips at the moment. Close minus low is 287. That's for you rats. For the buy zone traders, 267 to the upside, high minus open, and 32 open minus low to the downside. And of those looking at the simple price action chart here, you can see prices just stalling. I think the guys, traders in New York, probably want to go home if they haven't already. We've only got about an hour in the Forex market, a little over an hour left to trade. Except sometimes I think this broker might close early on Friday. But you can see here, after all this range, it's pretty much calmed down. The high minus, or rather the highest low, lowest high, you can see here. If you had taken this off of M30, you would have made bank. But if you're just scalping, you can see here we had 3 balls. And the highest low over the last 34 bars was right there. Paid off. The lowest high, you see here, would have been good for not even quite a pip at the moment. Just have to wait and see. But I wouldn't have traded that. You want to, at least I like to try and trade with the H4 candle color and the M30. And if those two colors don't match, then I'm definitely only going to take a pip or whatever if I am so lucky. Because for some strange reason, I get inflected a lot if I don't follow that simple rule. You get H4 and M30, same direction. You can usually ride it for a few pips. But one of the things that's happened to me, happened the other day. I went in on the first minute. It went, let's see which way it was going down. Then it flipped and kept going. And so right there, I think I might have mentioned, you either stop out or you put a hedge on, take that reversal signal, or you can double up. And if it really runs like it did, then you can get out of that first trade and then let at least one of the other ones run. You can make some nice pips that way. And once again, the range for November is almost matched the range for October in 3 days. Every time I do this, I keep thinking I should put these buttons out here. That we have not pushed the range. And I don't think we will, but anything could happen. But it would take a huge move to push that range. And if we take a quick look at the ATR, 502 versus 580 for October. And remember, those were small numbers when we looked at the actual. So now if we look at the ATR percent, you can see how price is just not quite doing. We're only 52%. So far this month we're at 59. And we haven't had a month to exceed it all year, as opposed to last year. We had 9 months in a row exceeding the ATR. Whoops. Didn't want to do that. I wanted to do this. One other thing we can look at, close minus open year-to-date open percent. So right now, if you had held, you'd be up 2.37%. You can see from August, or actually from July, it just almost gave it all back if you go month to month close. So that's why it's important to take profit so you don't give it back. I mean, you had 6, and if you're still holding, now you only have 2.3, you've given back 2/3. I used to always say in stock trading, you kind of draw a pyramid, and as price goes up, you draw like maybe a line somewhere around 90 or 95%. And once it crosses that line, then you've given back anywhere from 5 to 10%. And maybe you take the trade off. Then if it continues to drop, you can wait and put the trade back on, or if it reverses quick, you can always jump back in. But the worst thing is to let it say get down to 80, and that's when you cut your loss, and the next thing you know, it turns right around and runs up. So it's best to take your profit near the high. Don't give too much back. At least that's the way I like to look at it. So we see last year, September was the biggest month. November was the second biggest. So who knows, maybe we'll get some movement. Okay, let's take a look at the trade reminder. We're above that previous month's upper wick zone. Buyers are in strong control. You see we're forming a turn here. Above the previous mid, above the pivot. We got a higher high, higher low. Take a look at the weekly. Above the EMA. Way above the open. Previous bar was an outside bar. I think I mentioned that earlier about this weekly outside bar, that if it breaks the high or the low, it could run. Once again, simple horizontal line trades. Buyer strong control. Jump down to the daily. Wow, range percent of ATR 221. That's crazy. Above the wick zone. So buyer strong control. See, we had a turn right there. We had a turn here. We had a turn here. So turn, 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 or flip flop. So fellow traders, I hope November's treating your portfolio well, and I'm going to wish you a fun and safe weekend. And I'm going to remind you that when you're trading, it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.